Hey guys, welcome back to the Full Coat. Just going to do a very quick video today, having a quick look back at the Villareal game and a look ahead to Brighton on the weekend. And the reason I'm not doing a breakdown video on Villareal is that there isn't a great deal new to say. It wasn't a performance that we can make a big deal out of. It's not a performance that we're going to take any new learning kind of from a technical or a tactical basis. There's a few positives. There's a lot of stuff which is, I'm going to call it neutral at the minute, because it's not the right time to be critiquing it in great detail. And we're in a kind of wait and see holding pattern at the moment to see whether Thomas Frank and the coaching staff can improve on the bits that we've already discussed in great detail. So obviously delighted to get a victory out there, 1-0. Thomas Frank's first competitive Champions League match is off to a winning start. We're at home, we're off to a winning start. So all of these things are good. It doesn't really matter how you perform, it doesn't really matter what you do. Getting over the line, getting 3 points. If Tottenham Hotspur go on to win the Champions League in Budapest next year, nobody is going to be thinking back and saying, yeah, but what an awful first performance it was against Villareal. So yeah, from that perspective, it's the things that we can use to talk about in terms of being more patient are the fact, and Thomas Frank referenced it, that players haven't played together, they don't have their connections, they don't understand each other yet, they're not yet on the same wavelength. So we've got quite a few new and first team ready players coming in, so they're going to go straight into that either starting lineup or they're going to play come off the bench and play minutes. And these guys do not know each other. They don't have the connections, they don't have the automations that they know where and how to play the ball, and what kind of runs each other are likely to make, what a player is more likely to do in any given situation, just in those few instances before the play unfolds. So loads of reasons why it wasn't a fluid performance. We struggle again to play down the middle, and we also saw a bit of impatience from this Tottenham team. I think the pressure of playing at home, and maybe the crowd was a little bit flat as well. It felt like at times, particularly in the second half, we were really trying to force the match, and that didn't work in our favour. And overall, I think Villareal will go away feeling super disappointed. There was quite a few things that didn't go their way. They were pretty profligate. I know, people talking about it as a positive that they didn't have any shots on target. However, that's more to do with the quality of the finishing. They got into 3 or 4 good positions and should have done better. They went for controlled finishes, which is absolutely fine. But with those controlled finishes, they should have been hitting the target. And, there was 2 or 3 that went just wide of the post. That should have been on target, and that Nicola Pepe free kick was not far away at all. So Xavi Simons was quite lucky to stay on the pitch. All of these things added up to the fact that we just got the rub of the green in this match, and we got over the line with the victory. And obviously the difference was a terrible mistake by the goalkeeper. So there's not a great deal to say from the perspective of, I can see what this Tottenham team is trying to do in terms of its next step. Right now, the issues remain the same as they were on the weekend, and they have been in previous games. That's the kind of the layering that is going to need to come from the coaching staff. But we need to have that patience for the new players that come in, and for them to bed in and to really start to interact with their teammates. And we need more time on the training pitch. And there wasn't a great deal of time to prepare for what was a very well organised and well drilled Villareal team. They changed their shape really nicely between a 4 and a 3 at the back, and then pushing an extra man into midfield or an extra man wide, and then a player further up the pitch to cause an issue in the number 10 position. They did all of that stuff. It was really, really nice. They should be commended for that. They did quite well. And that then takes us on to the preview of Brighton. Brighton away from home, so at the Amex, is absolutely a game similar to the Bournemouth game. We're probably quite surprised at how well they did at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but similar to that game. Brighton are set up in a way and have the weapons to cause this current Tottenham side a lot of problems, more so than Man City. So this is the kind of thing where you look at the way that they're going to set up, and what they're going to try to do to us is they're going to try and use all the lessons that everybody else has been using, trying to steer us down the left-hand side if we go with Van de Ven and Spence, cutting off Romero's passing lanes, stopping Porro from being in the playmaking positions, stopping Kudus from getting the ball to feet or out in front of him. So, at worst, they want him receiving the ball facing his own goal and preferably chipped up, and they will go man-to-man and press him very hard and then hope he can't secure possession comfortably. They'll try to double up. All of these kind of things that we've seen, this is what the opposition is going to come and try and do against us, but they absolutely have got a manager and a setup and a system that could cause us problems. So what I would really like to see is whether that is a change in personnel, and in particular that midfield three doesn't feel like it's yet bedded down into which midfield three plays against which type of team, or certainly not in my mind. I'm not clear yet. That what we do and how we manage what Brighton are going to try and do to us is becoming increasingly important. So if we are planning to get out of there with a draw or with a win, we are going to have solutions on the pitch, and that comes from the players, for what Brighton are going to try to do to us. But also we're going to have solutions in our setup and our tactical system to cause them the maximum amount of trouble. And if our setup is going to be once again trying to, all the creativity being provided by Kudus and maybe Simons, or the right and left hand sides of the front three, and then try to use the number 9 to secure possession and to play over, or to play forward very quickly, play over the press or play over the midfield. These are the kind of things I think Brighton are very well set up, and they could frustrate us. And as we showed against Villareal, we could then get impatient, which will work against us. So I want to see solutions for that. I want to see us being braver and getting on the ball in midfield. I feel that Brighton will try to throw a box midfield over us, as many teams have done. And that means we need to time the entries into that zone. We need to be a lot braver with our passing, and we need to be a lot better at going into there and receiving the ball, trying to draw players in and then play off and get around. We've been throwing up 2 players to try and stretch the play in terms of our midfielders, one number 6 sitting and the 8 and the 10 moving up very, very high. So far, that hasn't worked fantastically. And again, I think Brighton are a team that are well set up to deal with that kind of thing. I don't think they will be ill-disciplined and they will fall for that and be dragged out of positions. I think they will mark that zonally until they need to go man for man. If the ball is going forward, they've got time to drop midfielders on top of us. So, I want to see different solutions and different ways of doing it. Plan A, use our very talented wide players and try and cause some problems. Absolutely fine. If that's not working, what else are we doing? How are we getting out? How are we progressing the ball? What are we doing through the middle? And what are we doing to cause Brighton problems of their own, so they can't spend so much time imposing their game plan on us, which we've shown at the minute we're not quite there yet. And we should be patient, because Thomas Frank and his coaching staff have not been in the door very long. So, we can understand that and we can accept it. And, we can buy into giving more time. I really want to see us get out with a result. I think a draw is absolutely fine and respectable. I'd love to see some more minutes for players like Colin Wani, who definitely provides us a different option up front. But yeah, this could be a game where lots of players off the bench could come in and affect this game and do something different. Fullbacks, could we change around who's playing depending on how fit Udogi's feeling at the minute? All of these kind of things. Are we going to do something different? Are we going to threaten and impose ourselves more than we have done on other teams so far? So it's going to be a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm hopeful we can go there and at the very least get a positive result. And if we don't, we'll look back at it and we'll analyse and we'll see exactly what the reasons were that for, because there could be a million reasons for that. So anyway, just a quick one. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping to see. Let's roll on Saturday, 3:00 kickoff. Can't watch it, and I'm not going away to the game, despite having a lot of friends and colleagues who are Brighton fans and season ticket holders. So yeah, hopefully we're going to ruin their day on Saturday. I'll leave it there. Guys, have a great end to your week. And as ever, come on, Tottenham.